discussing 28th chapter where Kapila Devi is going to talk about the yoga process. So as part of yoga process, we need to have Ashtanga yoga, which is like kind of eight-limbed process. So on that eight-limbed process, initially five limbs is explained: Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara. In the last three limbs, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, it involves meditation on the form of the Lord. So, like Ashtanga yogis, they need to meditate on the form of the Lord in order to purify themselves. And so, for Bhakti yogis, this is also part of their sadhana, like sadhana or bhakti, to remember the form of the Lord. So, therefore, Shukadeva Goswami, being a Bhakti yogi, he elaborated this part of Ashtanga yoga on the meditation on the Lord. So, in the Dharana state, while yogi is meditating, he remembers the whole form of the Lord. So, that's why initial shlokas they describe the whole form of the Lord, how Lord's face is so beautiful, and how his color is blue, and he is holding Shankachakra Gadadhara, and he is wearing yellow cloth. And Srivatsa and Kaustuba, they are decorated, and he's having nice garland where bees are surrounding him and wearing nice anklets and bracelets and other nice ornaments he is wearing. And then he is nice necklace and the nice girdle on his waist. So in this way, his face is always very beautiful to see, very beautiful to see, and he is worshipable for everyone, and he always stays in the youth age, and he is very mercifully looks into all the devotees' face, and he has wonderful fame, which is to be worth to be sung, and he is always praised by all the pious people with lot of glorification. So in this way, one should meditate on the form of the Lord without deviating. So in that, when the heart is purified little bit by meditating on that form of the Lord, so one can perform the dhyana. Dhyana is like individual limb meditation. So each limb of the Lord one will focus. It's like zoom in into the limbs of the Lord, which is like very powerful meditation. So even we can also benefit from this meditation. So it is very nice section where we can meditate on the form of the Lord. So here, um, so first it comes about the description of the lotus feet of the Lord. This is also nice shloka, 21 shloka. This is about the meditating on the lotus feet, where Lord's lotus feet has different symbols. Sanchintayed Bhagavatascharanaravindaam Vajrankushadvajasarorudhalanchanadyam Uttungaraktavilasam Nakachakravadam Josnabhirahatamah Hridayandakaram. So he's saying Sanchintayed. Sanchintayed means one should meditate. One should meditate on what? The Lord's lotus feet. So Lord's lotus feet, it is adorned with different symbols. Vajra is like Vajra, thunderbolt kind of thing. Ankusha means the god which to control the elephants. That is Ankusha. Dvaja is flag. And Saroruha means that which is born in the lake. That is lotus flower. So that lotus flower, lotus. And then Adyam, etc. So which is like umbrella, chakra, there is a barleycorn, there is a udvareka, there is a ashtakona, there is a swastik, there is jambu flower. So like that there is a description of the lotus feet of Krishna. So maybe I will just This is nice way of meditating the Lord. So there are all the different limbs of the Lord. So they are also kind of described in the share. So these are all the different symbols in the bottom, souls of the Lord. And also on the top of the feet, Uttunga Rakta Vilasan Naka Chakravala. Naka, the nails. Their nails is like they are emanating lot of eminence. So Uttunga is the kind of prominent, that is red light is coming, brilliant light from his nails, and it resembles the circle of a moon. Josnabir, and that splendor will come by that splendor of nails that will ahata mahat hridayandakaram. The darkness in the heart will be gone away by meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord. So we'll just briefly see different symbols of the form, the lotus feet. We'll share. It is nice way sometimes to remember the symbols of the Lord and meditating, because many times in Bhagavatam, if we repeatedly study again and again, the lotus feet of the Lord is like repeated so many times throughout Bhagavatam. So many times it is repeated. So therefore, it is better for us to little focus on what is there in the lotus feet of the Lord. So while chanting, also some devotees recommend, if mind is wavering, we can remember the lotus feet of the Lord, which can control. And there are like around 19 symbols that are mentioned in the lotus feet of the Lord. So, and each symbol, if we meditate, there is a like kind of particular benefit is also kind of mentioned. So that are all different symbols. So there is first there is a barleycorn or john, some kind of grain at the foot, right foot of the thumb. And then urdhvareka, which coming from between thumb and the forefinger of leg, right leg till the middle portion. And there is chakra, which is like kind of chakra here. And then lotus kamala, which is below these thumbs. Like vajra, ankusha, dvaja, saru, that we can remember from this shloka. So these are all different items. And below the soul, there is Ashtakona, and then Swastika and Jambu Nada, Jambu Phala. This is from the right hand, right leg. In the left leg, there is a Shanka, there is a Ambara kind of disc, kind of we can say. And there is a Dhanusha, Dhanush symbol is there. Goshpada is like calf footprints kind of thing. And then below there is 4 kalashas that are placed around a trikona, and there is a Ardha Chandra. And then below his sole of uh, the left foot, there is a Matsya, Meena Matsya is there. And there are like meditating on different symbols, and different advantages are also provided. Like for example, one meditated on barley corn, just like barley corn nourishes, his feet also provide spiritual nourishment. So if one meditates on the chakra within the Lord's Lord, it destroys the chakra shines there. So it destroys the darkness of sin within us. And Urdhvareka, it like it's like kind of they go to higher realms, kind of Padma. It is like devotees experience inner growth and illumination. And God, especially, it's that God is there to control the elephant. So this God, like if you meditate on this God, it will help to control our mind, which is like very wavering. Dvaja, it's like it will shield us from fear. And thunderbolt, especially, it destroys all the sinful reactions if one meditates. Umbrella gives protection. So similarly, if we meditate on umbrella, it will kind of awards protection. There is an octagon, so it is like it is also kind of that when we take shelter, we can get anything. It will provide whatever things we require. Swastika is like auspicious Hindu symbol, so it will destroy all inauspiciousness. Jambu Phala, kind of rose apple. So it also kind of like some kind of auspiciousness or something. So like that Shanka, there is in the left side 8 symbols are there. So Shanka is also like kind of removing distress. It sometimes Lord touches his devotees with his Shanka, like he touched with Dhruva Maharaj. There is a kind of Kam or Akasha symbolized by 2 circles. So Lord kind of it signifies kind of detachment or omnipresence. There is a bow, it's also kind of liberating from cycle of birth and death. There is a ghost pada, calf's footprint. So generally there is shloka in Bhagavatam. If we take shelter of Lord's lotus feet, the ocean of material existence is like a size of a calf's footprint. So that it signifies kind of thing. There is a trikona. So it's like trikona. They gave some different meanings. Like the gives refuge to all the people in the 3 worlds or 3 beings like devatas, humans, or animals like that. There is a kalasha, and like it also kind of extinguishes the fire of separation, kind of meaning given. Ardha Chandra, the moon gives light. It also adorns the Shiva's head. It adorns, which is like Lord's lotus feet. Shiva is kind of liberating. So, and it also removes kind of darkness and blesses everyone. Matsya finally. So Matsya is the kind of it's like connection between devotee and kind of Krishna. Kind of. So it fulfills the desires and protection from suffering. So like that, there are different symbols. There are analyzed through different various ways. But yeah, so mainly the Bhagavatam repeatedly glorifies taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. So one can remember the different symbols in the Lord's lotus feet, especially in Vrindavan. We can see whenever he walks, his lotus feet, these different symbols, they are all marked in Vrindavan. So therefore, all the Vrajavasis they respect these symbols and they never step on those symbols. They step on those lotus feet. These lotus feet, they could recognize Krishna went this way, so they would follow these steps and uh, go to the place where Krishna is there. So like that, the first the meditation on the different symbols on the souls of the Lord is mentioned, and also on top of the Lord the nails, that also by meditating it will remove all the hridaya andhakara. So this is the first meditation that came. And then the one more verse that came for even the lotus feet is that यच्चौच निःसृष्टसरि प्रवरोदकेन तीक्तेन मृद्नि अधिकृतेन शिव शिवो भू ध्यातुर्मनश्यमलशैलनिःसृष्टवज्रम् ध्यायेच्चिरं भगवतश्चरणारविन्दम्. So it says that the lotus feet, the lotus water, or the water coming from the lotus feet of the Lord, that water is so purifying. It is like a tirtha, and Shiva, he placed those water on his head, and therefore he became very auspicious. Tirthena, that lotus, that water, actually that Ganges water, which is coming from the lotus feet of the Lord Vamandev's lotus feet. So that Shiva, he has taken on his head, and therefore he became Shiva, auspicious. So if one meditates on that lotus feet, it will destroy the inauspiciousness of the mind. Manas Shamala Shaila, the mountain of inauspicious things in mind, it will act like a Nisrushta Vajram. It will act like a Vajra, and it cuts off all the contamination in the mind. So therefore, Dhyaye Chiram. So for a long time, one should meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord, Bhagavatas Charana Ravindam. In this way, the even meditating on the lotus feet for a long time is kind of recommended. So we go to the next shloka. Next So, like I mentioned, this water from Vamandev is coming in the form of Ganga Devi. So that Ganga Devi, Lord Shiva held on his head to become more auspicious. So it will remove all the sins. So next progresses, it progresses to the calves. So calves of the Lord, it was mentioned that the Lakshmi Devi, she is always meditating. She is serving these calves. In that way, we can remember the calves. Janudvayam jala chanaya jananya lakshmakhilesya suravanditaya vidhatam पूर्वोर्निधाय करपल्लवरुचिषाय संलालितं हृदि विभोर abhavasya kurya. So kurya, one should meditate the janudvayam, that is the the two calves of the Lord. So how Jalajalochanaya Jananya, the mother Lakshmi, who is having the lotus side, so that the mother Lakshmi is who is worshipped by all the devatas. She is massaging the calves of the Lord. Suror Nidaya Karapallava Lochishaya. With this lotus hand, she is massaging. So that one should meditate on one's heart, so to become free from cycle of birth and death. So this is the meditation on the calf very carefully. We should meditate on the activities. So this is meditation on the calves. So generally, like Brahmaji was born from the lotus navel of the Lord. But Brahmaji is not born like generally. He was not born through mother and father, like directly from the Lord only he was born. So, like there is, there like Lord doesn't need Lakshmi or other being to produce children. So Brahmaji was kind of automatically was produced. His father of Lord is father of Brahmaji, so without in touch with Lakshmi Devi. So in this way, Lakshmi Devi always wanted to serve the lotus calves, lotus feet of the Lord, serving massaging calves. In this way, we can remember the calves. Then going little above, how can we remember the thighs of the Lord? So thighs represent the power of the Lord. So he always sits on the Garuda. So that meditation you can do. Guru Supanna Bhujayo Radishobhamanam Ojo Nidhi Atasika Kusumagadhasam Vyalam Vipita Varava Sasivattamana Kanchi Kalapa Parirambhi Nitamba Bimbam. So Guru Supanna Bhujayo Radishobhamana. His Lord is thighs, they are placed on the Garuda, Supanna Bhujayor, on the shoulders of Garuda, and which is very beautiful. And this provides the strength for all the universe. Ojo Nidhi, they're completely filled with all the strength, and it is very shining. And on this, on his hips, on this shoulder, on his thighs and hips, he is wearing very bright yellow color. Vyalambi Pita Varavasasi Vartamana. So he is wearing yellow color dress, and it is also his hips are covered with nice kanchi kalapa, nice girdle uh, on his hips, and parirambi encircled is on his rounded hips. So that's how one can meditate on the yellow dhoti and the girdle here. And then going little above, navel and the nipples. नाभिहृदं भुवनकोश गुहोदरस्थं यत्रात्मयोनिधिषणाखिललोकपद्मं Nabhihridam. So his notice navel is like Bhuvana Kosha, like all these worlds, they are actually coming from the navel of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. So navel, the whole world is residing, coming from the lotus navel of the Lord. So Bhuvana Kosha, Guhodarastham. It is a Akhila Loka Yoni. So it is like all the all the lokas, they are generating from this navel of the Lord. Akhila Loka Padmam is coming from this this navel of the Lord, and Atma Yoni, even the Brahmaji also appeared from this navel. In this way, one can think of the navel of the Lord. And then going above chest, Vyudam Harinmani Vrishastanayoramusha Dhyayedvayam Vishadaharam Gauram. So there is a pearl necklace around the Lord. So in that pearl necklace, there is a harin like emeralds. The necklace is kind of made of emeralds, and the lotus, the stanayo means nipples. They are there. They are looks like a emeralds, and then we should meditate on those shining emeralds of nipples. And there is a pearl necklace, and that necklace shining from that necklace shines on that emeralds, and it shines. So therefore, that is like kind of emanating some white light. So that also one can meditate. So this is a meditation on the chest form of the Lord, and also chest. One more meditation. वक्षोदिवासं ऋषभस्य महाविभूते पुंसां मनोनयन निर्वृतिमादधानम्. So Vakshasthala, chest part, Mahavibhute, that is Lakshmi Devi, who is having all the powers. She is residing as a Srivatsa mark. And neck form of the Lord. Kantam cha kaustubhamane Kuryan manasi akhila loka namaskrutasya. So Kanta, lotus neck, the neck of the Lord, it is decorated with Kaustubha. And also it is very worshipable for all the people to meditate on the Kaustubha of the Lord. In this way, Kanta is described. Then the different arms of the Lord. Bahum Samandaragire Parivattanena Nirnitta Bahuvalayam. So Bahum is his arms. So like in one of the incarnation as Ajita, he held the Mandara mountain when Devatas and demons they are churning the ocean. So one can remember those that pastime of churning the ocean. So his hands represent that. And while he was churning, his golden arm, golden ornaments around his bangle, they are rubbed around Mandara mountain and they are shining, polished. They are getting polished while they are churning. So that is his arms. Sanchintaye Dashasataram Teja Shankam Chatatkara Saroruharajahamsam. So then one can meditate on his lotus hands. He holds 4 hands, Vishnu form. So in that Dashasataram Asahya Teja, this is like the Sudarshan Chakra who is having like 10,000 spokes or 1,000 spokes, and it is like very dazzling. And then that is like Sudarshan Chakra on one hand. On the other hand, there is a Shanka who is holding some Shanka on the one more hand. And also in one more hand, third hand, Tatkara Saroruha Rajahamsam. So he is also holding a lotus flower on his, like this Shanka, it's like Shanka is very, like it is the comparison is that he is holding Shanka and his hand is like a lotus flower. See, in lotus flower, sometimes a Hamsa who is very white color that will come and land on lotus. So that Shanka on his hand is looking like a Raja Hamsa on a lotus flower or Raja Hamsa. So he is like that is like we can remember in that way. Shanka on a lotus flower on his hand. Then on the other 2 hands, he is holding Kaumodiki Gada, Shanka Chakra Gadadhara, Shanka Chakra Shankha Chakra, and also lotus on one more hand. Gada. So that is Gada. Lord's Gada is called as Kaumodiki. Kaumodikim Bhagavato Daitam Smareta Digdhamarati Bhatashonita Kaddamena. So this Kaumodiki Gada, it is smeared with the blood spots of the soldiers, the enemy soldiers that Lord kills when he uses in fighting. So that one should remember. This Kaumodiki Gada is very dear to the Lord. So these are two like different symbols on the lotus hands of the Lord. Then the Mala. Mala Madhu Vratavaruta Giropagushtam Chaityasya Tattvamamalam Manimasya Kanthe. So Mala is wearing Vaijayanti Mala, which is like adorned with different flowers, and it is always surrounded with so many groups of bees. Varuta Giropagushtam. So many groups of bees surround this mala, one can remember. And there is a mani on the Lord's neck. So that mani conch is like that one should meditate on that necklace, which represents the uh, living entities. Chaityasya Tattvam Amalam Manimasya Kante. So that's money actually costed money only. That it represents the living entities on his neck. It's pure living entities who are always engaged in his service. So that one can remember. This way the till neck we have come. So now the lotus face of the Lord. So face is very beautiful. So therefore it is explained in four, 5 shlokas. So first, भृत्यानुकम्पितधियेह गृहीतमूर्तिं सञ्चिन्तयेद् भगवतो वदनारविन्दम् यद्विस्फुरन्मकरकुण्डलवल्गितेन विद्योतितामलकपोलमुदारनासम्. So his face, Bhritya Anukampita Deha Gruhita Murte. He is like very compassionately looks towards his devotees. Sanchintaye Bhagavato Vadanaravindam. So one should meditate on the lotus face of the Lord. Vadana Aravindam. Vadana, his face is also compared with lotus. So Lord's different bodies, they are always compared with lotuses. Like eight different lotuses are there in Lord's beautiful body. So one is like lotus face, and within face also two eyes. Eyes of the Lord are always compared with two lotuses. And then two hands of the Lord always compared with lotus. Two feet of the Lord, they are always compared with lotuses. And navel of the Lord, it is also compared with lotus. So in this way, 8 lotuses, 2 eyes, 2 hands, 2 palms basically, 2 feet, and 1 navel and 1 face. In this way, Lord is always compared with lotuses, so that at least that is the beautiful object we can see in this world. So therefore, it is compared. Actually, it is much more beautiful. So we should meditate on that lotus face, and in this lotus face, यद्विस्फुरन्मकरकुण्डलवल्गितेन विद्योतितामलकपोलमुदारनासम्. So there is Makara Kundala. Lord wears a kundala which is shaped like a makara. Makara is an animal which is similar to crocodile and some other animal combination. It is not exactly crocodile. So he's wearing kundala, his earrings looks like makara. So these Makar Kundala, they are hanging on the lotus, on the ears of the Lord, and they are moving. So because of that moving, his cheeks, they are very shiny cheeks. So therefore, the reflection of this Makara Kundala, they are falling on those cheeks, and it is very shiny. So Vidyodita Amala Kapolam, and also Vidyodita, and also Amala Kapolam. So Kapolam is cheeks, and Udara Nasam, and also he has nicely raised nose, which is very beautiful. So that one can meditate on the lotus face of the Lord. Then one more shloka for the lotus face. यच्छ्रीनिकेतमलिभिः परिसेव्यमानम् भूत्या स्वया कुटिलकुन्तलवृन्दजुष्टम् मीनद्वयाश्रयमधीक्षिपतब्जनेत्रम् ध्यायेन्मनोमयमतन्द्रित उल्लसद्भ्रू यच्छ्रीनिकेतमलिभिः परिसेव्यमानम्. So this is like his lotus, his face is like a Sriniketam, the lotus stays there, and alibi is like the bees. So the bees, they think that it is a lotus, so they hover around his lotus eyes. Sriniketam alibi parisevyamana. They always surrounded by bees on his eyes. And Bhutya Swaya Kutila Kundala Vrinta Jushtam. And also it was surrounded by his hair. So Kutila Kuntala. So Kuntala is like hair, curly hair. So Lord hair is compared to Kutila Kuntala, curly hair. And the multitude, they are like very nicely, so many curly hair surrounds his eyes. So it is very beautiful. मीनद्वयाश्रमदीक्षिपदब्जनेत्रम् ध्याये मनोमयमतन्द्रित उल्लसद्भ्रू. And also Lord's eyes, it is like they are also compared to the Meenadvaya. So it looks like some kind of fish shaped. So the Lord's lotus eyes, they were like they were put to shame the beauty of some kind of fish kind of. So it is like because they are very elegant. So therefore one should meditate on the Lord's lotus eyes. And also there is Ulla Sadbru. It's very shining eyebrows are there for the Lord. So one should be atandrita with very attentively. One should meditate on the eyebrows of the Lord, which is one should meditate on that form. So in this way, Lord's form is compared to different items so that we can remember. And next, there is a nice shloka about the ice, how the ice will reduce the sufferings of this world. तस्यावलोकमधिकं कृपयाति घोर तापत्रयोपशमनाय निःसृष्टमक्ष्म स्निग्धस्मितानुभुवितं विपुलप्रसादं ध्यायेच्चिरं विपुलभावनया गुहायाम्. So tasya avalokam krupaya ati ghora. His glance is very merciful. Krupaya ati ghora. Very merciful glance he shows through his. And people who are suffering in this world, they will get relief from the glance of the eyes of the Lord. And these eyes, they are also accompanied by the smiling lips of the Lord, smiling. Snigdha smitanu gumitam vipula prasadam. So this is like very affectionately, he smiles, snigdha smita, loving smiles, so accompanied by eyes compassionately looking and smiling, like affectionate smile. So these two always fill the devotees with happiness and removes all the miseries. So one should meditate with a lot of feelings on this wonderful face of the Lord. So in this way, the eyes and the little smile is mentioned. Now the more of laughter of the Lord is mentioned in the next shloka. Very nice shloka. This is awesome. You can see how the Bhagavatam verses are compiled so that we can very nicely in different tunes we can sing. So this is a excellent composition of Bhagavatam verses. Different. This is one tune I am singing. There are different ways of singing the same shloka in different ways also. Asam Hare Ravanita Khilaloka Tibra शोकाश्रुसागर विशोषणमत्युदारन् सम्मोहनाय रचितं निजमाययास्य भ्रूमण्डलं मुनिकृते मकरध्वजस्य आसंहरेरवनिता किल लोकतीव्रं शोकाश्रुसागरविशोषणमत्युदारम् सम्मोहनाय रचितं निजमानयास्य भ्रूमण्डलं निकृते मकरध्वजस्य. So these are the two variations. So like that, some more variations are also there. So in this way, Bhagavatam verses can be recited in different tunes, and devotees relish these shlokas by by for different purposes. They may like those shlokas. Some people may like them for some its meter. Some people like them for its meaning. Some people like the shlokas for different rhythms that it provides, the composition and all those things. So in this way, they take lot of delight in just reciting the slokas of Bhagavad. Some people remember it to remember the tattva of the Lord. So there are various reasons people remember the shlokas of Bhagavad. So this is very nice shloka which is glorifying the smile of the Lord and the eyebrows. Hasam Hare. So laugher. So smile is like little smile. Here Hasam is loud smile. So Lord sometimes with the loudly he smiles. So that time the uh, that smile of the Lord, it will remove Akila Loka Tivra Shoka Ashru Sagara Vishoshanam. Means the people in this world they shed so many tears. Those tears will form a ocean. So, but his smile can dry up all those ocean of suffering people have. Ati Udaram, very magnanimous. So one should meditate on the smile of the Lord. Then these eyebrows. Sammohanaya richitam nijamayasya bhrumandalam mudikrite makarattvajasya. So his eyebrows, if one meditates on the eyebrows, is especially for the saintly people, saints, because it will bewilder uh, even the Kandarpa, the Cupid. So in order to, it is manifested through his internal potency. So if one want to overcome Cupid, the force of Cupid, then one can meditate on the eyebrows of the Lord, which will defeat even the Cupid. So these are especially for the saintly people. One can meditate on the eyebrows of the Lord. So then, so this is like Hasam is like little. There are different variations of the smile. Some small smile, little bit more smile, and when he is like uh, completely laughing, then that time his teeth are visible. So that is like prahasitam, that complete laugher. Dhyanayanam prahasitam bahuladharoshta भासारुणायततनु द्विजकुन्दपङ्क्ति ध्यायेत् स्वदेहकुहरे आविसितस्य विष्णु भक्त्याद्रयार्पितमना न पृथक् दृदृक्षे. So his laugher, when he laughs, his like his lower lip and upper lip they move, and then there is a nice Tanu Dvija Kunda Pankti. His teeth they are compared to jasmine buds, which are like very shining, small color. So very in a very systematic way, linely aligned. So that is the laugher of the Lord with his. It is very captivating for the devotees to meditate on the laughter of the Lord. So all these small teeth which are like jasmine buds that we can see, and also his lotus like his lips they are like bimba red, like we sing in Damodarashtakam bimba dara bimba dara. So that shine from that red lips goes to his teeth, and therefore the teeth also shines in the red color. So that also one can meditate. So in this way, one should meditate on the Lord in his core of the heart. Yogi should meditate the Lord in his core of his heart, and with completely transformed heart, we should meditate, and in this way his heart will be captivated, and he should not na pratak didrukshe. He should not see elsewhere. He should always meditate on the form of the Lord. So this is like kind of instruction given to yogis that one should meditate on the form of the Lord. There is a nice set of slokas, which is like giving the limb by limb description of the Lord, and devotees, they remember these complete shlokas and they meditate on the Lord's form, and sometimes they go in front of the Lord and also remember these shlokas to meditate on different limbs of the Lord. In this way, the meditation form of the meditation of the Lord is given nicely. So in this way, when a yogi meditates on this form of the Lord, the yogi may experience hair stand on his body with excess joy, and he is completely filled with streams of tears flowing from his body. So in this way, he engages his mind in the meditation of the Lord, and slowly he withdraws his mind from all the material activity and meditate on the form of the Lord. So in this way, the yogi will be detached from all the material contamination, and he completely develops love. So in this way, he achieves kind of perfection. So in this way, he understands his relationship with the Lord, and in that relationship, he may derive a lot of pleasure, and all his false ego, which is produced from ignorance, all that will be eradicated, and he achieves his real identity in relationship with the Lord, or whatever his desire uh, he achieves. In that state, he is like completely aloof from the identification of the body. So, because his body is completely now controlled by the Lord, he is not even aware whether he is wearing clothes or not. He is like completely apart, aloof from the body. He is completely situated in transcendental situation. That Lord will kind of take care of his body. So, in this way, the yogi, he meditates on different limbs and achieves the function, the samadhi situation, complete meditation. So in that way, he achieves liberation. He sees his body as just like a understand himself completely different from the body, and how his consciousness is completely different from the body. So some analogies are given for us to understand that, like how just like a fire, like he is meditating, he understands himself different from the body, and at the same time there is a Lord, and he is also separate from the Lord. So one analogy is given. There is a fire, and from fire, different flames, the sparks will come, smoke will come. So, so that fire is compared to super soul, and different sparks, they are like souls. So in this way, the different like he will understand his position apart from the body as well as the Lord's position. So in this way, he completely sees himself apart from the body and also observes the Supreme Lord who is observing everywhere. So in this way, he also finds the presence of the super soul in everywhere, in all the species. So in this way, he achieves like kind of sees the presence of the Lord everywhere. So that is observing the Lord in every direction. So in this way, uh, he sees the different presence of super soul in different entities, and actually it is like soul is very pure, but based on the different forms of wood, based on the different natures he acquires through conditioned nature, he attains different bodies, pure soul. But by a yogi, by meditation on this kind of yoga, when he achieves perfection, he understands that he is completely different from this body, and he kind of free from Maya. So he conquers Maya and becomes kind of self-realized. So in this way, the meditation on the different limbs of the Lord, limbs of the Lord, and by that meditation, the yogi, he achieves perfection. So that is mentioned in this chapter. So basically, this is like a meditation of the even the even the bhaktas also can take all the advantage of this, and especially for the devotees, the main focus is like for we can remember the deity form of the Lord, because the deity form of the Lord is especially carved according to the injunctions of the Shastras, and so therefore it is for us, we may not be able to completely concentrate on the form of the Lord. So therefore, as much as possible, whenever we go to visit temples and everything, we can meditate on the different limbs of the Lord in the deity. So that meditation is not different from a yogi meditating on his heart. And also, and especially when someone gets the opportunity to decorate the body of the Lord and all, that is like complete absorption of his mind on the form of the Lord. In this way, the Lord's form and Lord's name, they are all intrinsic part of the Lord. We cannot separate Lord from Lord's form and Lord's name. They are like non-different from the Lord. So Lord's form is identical to Lord only. Lord's name is also identical to Lord only. So therefore, we can meditate on the form of the Lord, remember the name. Even while chanting also, sometimes if our mind is disturbed, everything, we can also remember the form of the Lord, or we can remember some deity of the Lord, so that our mind will be controlled. So in this way, the meditation of the form of the Lord is so important that we can also take advantage of this meditation. So this is a meditation on the form of the Lord. So in this way, that chapter of yogis is mentioned. So maybe I will stop here with this description here. Next chapter is again about devotional service. So I will maybe briefly describe about maybe tomorrow we are celebrating the appearance of Lord Ram in Ayodhya. So like it is a very wonderful festival. Even Gauram Prabhu and Maharaj also they went there. So maybe on that occasion we can just remember some remembrance of Lord Ram. Everywhere Lord Ram Katha is happening. So yeah.
So in GV we don't have Lord Ram's deity.
We like whenever Ram Navami that time comes, we perform Abhishek by bringing some deities are there. That time we perform. So tomorrow we are doing a complete whole day kirtan in some in the kirtan shala. So like that. And there is Ram Kada in the morning. So like that we are celebrating. So yeah, I was also meditating, and I was also discussing Ram Kada with some other devotees also. I shared about Bharat Maharaj, about how he was waiting for Lord Ram. So maybe so Bharat Maharaj and Ayodhya Vasis, they are all Ayodhya Vasis, they are like completely in love with the Lord, and they wanted Lord Ram to become their king. So when they heard the news that Lord Ram is going to become coronated, they expressed so much happiness. But the next day, the news has come for them that Lord is not going to become the king, but he is going to forest. So they became so depressed. Lord Ram is going. So they all, when Lord Ram is going, they are also going along with Lord Ram. So they traveled with Lord Ram till the point of even the place in Guha. So they had so much affection for Lord Ram. And Ram actually has to escape in the middle of the night so that all these people will not follow him. So like the Lord Ram, in the middle of the night, he wakes up, and along with Lakshman and Sita, they go to other, they cross this river and go to the other place. And the people, they get up in the morning and they are searching for Lord Ram, and they could not find. So in that way, they had a lot of affection, and they are like kind of cursing Bharat, Kaikeyi for all these things. So later on, when Bharat comes, he was like kind of everyone is suspecting him, because of him only Lord Ram went. So therefore, Bharat has to prove himself innocent. So when Bharat told that we will bring Ram back, they are very excited. So they all went with Bharat
Yeah.
Maharaj to bring Lord Ram to Ayodhya. And Bharat
Hmm.
Maharaj, he presented so many arguments to
Hmm.
bring Lord Ram back, but Lord Ram he never wanted to deviate
Hmm.
the vow of his father. So he was very firm. So therefore, Bharat came back without Ram, but he brought Paduka of Lord Ram. So
Hmm.
the
But this
citizens,
is all basic, Prabhu. The behind all this, there is so much philosophy is there.
yeah,
So Lord Ram had gone to forest mostly for his devotees to meet them, to keep their promise that like Sabri was waiting, and so many sages they were waiting for Lord Ram to come, and he had so many. He mainly he had come to kill Ravana. So all this ground was made for that, and
like one in one pastime, Lord performs so many different reasons will be there, so many
yeah.
activities.
That the truth behind all this is very attractive,
Yes.
because why all these things happen, behind that there is some cause, and that is long behind it was planned how it will all happen.
Mm.
And
Yes.
I was watching this Ramayana serial which was there some 30-40 years ago, that serial, Ramayana serial.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, I was watching that.
yes. So all these Ayodhya they are all eagerly waiting when will Ram will come. So for
Hmm.
14 years, they were all waiting. So after 14 years, they are kind of receiving Lord Ram when he is coming.
Hmm.
So this is like highest happiness they are experiencing. So
Yeah.
in that situation, they have decorated their houses. They
Yeah.
have mm, lit their Deepa. So that's how Deepavali has come. Lord Ram is coming, and everyone is welcoming
Hmm.
Lord Ram to their homes and their
Hmm.
kingdom. So that's when Deepavali is happened. So
Yeah.
for them, the Lord Ram is like very very dear, like their prana, like that.
Hmm.
So that's how when Lord Ram has come back, they all celebrated. And then Lord Ram has entered into Ayodhya with Bharat also brought Lord Ram. And then there is a Abhisheka of Lord Ram. And
Hmm.
then there is a description of Lord Ramaraja. So where in his kingdom there are no miseries, there are no Adaya Vyadaya, two words are used. Adaya, Vyadaya means uh, bodily kind of sufferings.
Hmm.
Adaya means mental anxieties. So
Hmm.
there is no mental anxieties as well as bodily anxieties. So that is
Hmm.
the significance. And also, no younger person died in front of elder person, and
Hmm.
yet yielded all the crops and everything, whatever they needed, everything is provided. And most importantly, the whole kingdom, they are all Ram consciousness. Everyone is remembering Ram always, Ram, like that. So in this way, they are all meditating on Lord Ram. So in this way, the very prosperous kingdom and very
Hmm.
highly, Ram is very ideal in that sense. So in
Hmm.
this way, Ram exhibited so many qualities, and Ayodhya is eagerly waiting for the Ram to receive. So now also we are like kind of Lord Ram is appearing for after a long time. So tomorrow is an opportunity to remember Lord Ram and share Rams with all others wherever celebration is there.
We should make our mood like that, that Lord Ram is coming back.
Coming back, so coming to our homes and our hearts.
Yeah. That is what all day I was watching all this serial, then Sundarkand, then all this, making my mind now Ram conscious, because now the whole country is like in that mood.
Yes.
So now Krishna, I am always thinking I am worshiping Krishna, but thinking that you had come in Ram form. So now I am worshiping in that mood, in
Mm,
Ram form,
correct.
Ram and Sita.
To compare. Radha Krishna, they only appeared as Sitaram.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु।
Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna.